Hey everybody. Like I said, my son Brennan brought home Junie B, first grader, turkeys we have loved and eaten, and other thankful things or stuff. Okay, we left off at chapter 8 last time, and Junie B and May were playing with their elephants and fighting with each other, and Mr. Scary got on them, and then he added a few more things to the list on the board. So, chapter 8 is 3 squeezes. Mr. Scary checked the clock again. Okay, it's time for our last thankful item before lunch, he said. Shirley's sausage story was so nice. I'm wondering if anyone else has an animal you're thankful for. Sheldon's hand shot up like a rocket. Oh, I do, Mr. Scary. I have 3 animals I'm thankful for, and guess what? I got my picture taken with every single one of them. He quickly leaned down to his thankful bag, and he started searching through it. And he stopped to glance up. And here's the part that you're really gonna love, he said. All the animals are Thanksgiving animals, Mr. Scary. All of them are turkeys. Mr. Scary looked happy at that news. Turkeys, he said? No kidding, Sheldon. That's great. I know it, said Sheldon. I know it's great. My Uncle Vern has turkeys at his house, and he took pictures of me with the 3 that I love the most. Mr. Scary smiled really big. This is perfect, Sheldon. I didn't even know that your Uncle Vern was a turkey farmer. Sheldon looked puzzled. He's not, he said. Uncle Vern and Aunt Bunny live out in the woods. He did a pause. They moved out there to get away from the law, he said. Mr. Scary cleared his throat, real nervous. Yes, well, that's fine, Sheldon. But that story is really none of our business, he said. Well, I think it's our business, shouted a loud voice. I think they should be arrested. All of our eyes turned to May, of course. Her face looked shocked at us. Don't look at me. I didn't say that. It was him, she said. Then she quick pointed to Police Sergeant Chuck on Mr. Scary's desk. Mr. Scary rolled his eyes, very annoyed. He told May to button her lips. She started to sputter. But, Mr. Scary snapped his fingers at her, and then he turned back to Sheldon. Please forgive that rude interruption, Sheldon, he said. I really can't wait to see your turkey pictures. I've seen wild turkeys when I've been hiking, but I've never been that up close to get a picture before. Really, said Sheldon? That's odd. It's easy to get turkey pictures at Uncle Vern's. He brings them right inside his camper. Mr. Scary's face went funny, but he didn't say any words. Then, all of a sudden, Sheldon found the pictures he was looking for in his thankful bag, and his whole face lit up. I found them! Here they are! Here's the pictures of the turkeys, my 3 favorite turkeys at Uncle Vern's, he said. He took them out and put them in order. Number 1 is Gary Gobbles, number 2 is Harry Gobbles, and number 3 is Larry Gobbles. He smiled real big at that one. Larry was from last year, he said. He's the turkey I loved the most. He jumped up and held Larry's picture for all of us to see. Look, everyone, do you see him? You see Larry? And here's everybody looking at his pictures of his turkeys. I wish we could see what they look like. All right. Then all of our faces went funny. Plus, Mr. Scary's face went funny again, too. Oh, well, this isn't what we expected, Sheldon, he said. This isn't a picture of a wild turkey in the woods, is it? He did a hard swallow. This is a picture of a cooked turkey on your plate, and you're eating it. Sheldon nodded real happy. Yes, he said, I know. At Thanksgiving, we take pictures of the delicious turkeys that we have loved and eaten, and this is Larry from last year. He looked curious at our teacher. Don't you take pictures of your Thanksgiving dinners, he asked. Mr. Scary thought for a minute. Well, yes. Now that I think about it, we do, Sheldon. We do take pictures of our Thanksgiving meals, he said. Sheldon smiled at Larry again. Larry was my favorite, he said. Look, see? Uncle Vern gave me the drumstick. In our family, it is an honor to get a Thanksgiving drumstick, I tell you. Sheldon stood up straight and tall. The drumstick is what a king gets, he said, real proud. I thought about that. I've never gotten a drumstick, I said, real disappointed. Me neither, said my friend Herbert. My mother says if she gives me the drumstick, I'll slap it on the tablecloth. Sheldon beamed. My Uncle Vern didn't care if I slapped mine, he said. He just told me to enjoy it, Sheldon. Sheldon grinned really big. And here's something else I love about Thanksgiving at Uncle Vern's, he said. Before we eat, we all hold hands around the table, and we squeeze each other's hands 3 times. He joined his hands together, and he showed us how to squeeze. 1 squeeze, 2 squeezes, 3 squeezes, he said. 3 squeezes stand for 3 special words. He looked around the room. Can anyone guess what the 3 special words are, he asked. Room 1 thought and thought, but we could not come up with the 3 special words. Finally, Mr. Scary put his hand on Sheldon's shoulders, and he smiled down at him. I love you, he said. Sheldon stood there for a second. Then he smiled kind of shy. Well, I love you too, he said. But can you guess what words the 3 squeezes stand for? Mr. Scary stood there very frozen. He did not make any more guesses. And so finally Sheldon blurted it out. Happy Turkey Day, he said. The 3 squeezes stand for Happy Turkey Day. And so that's how come we always name our turkeys, because they make our Thanksgiving Day happy and so delicious. And we don't ever want to forget them. I thought that over in my head. Room 1 thought it over too. Then all at once we started to clap, because that is the nicest way to show a member that we remember a turkey that we ever heard of. Sheldon looked at his Thanksgiving pictures again. Good old Larry from last year. Mr. Scary smiled. Then he walked up to the board and he picked up his chalk and he wrote it on the board. Number 11. Good old Larry from last year. Room 1 claps some more. Good old Sheldon Potts. Chapter 9. Socks and Other Surprises. Wednesday. Dear First Grade Journal, today is the day for the Thanksgiving feast in Room 1. All of the children had to dress up like pilgrims or Native Americans at the first Thanksgiving. And so that is how come I told Mother, do not make me wear a pilgrim costume, and I mean it. I could not have been louder, by the way. Only, what do you know? Mother said she forgot I told her that. Plus also, she gave me the costume job to my grandma, Helen Miller. And so, big surprise, this morning Helen brought the costume to my house. And oh no, it was a stupid, dumb pilgrim dress. I did a shriek at that thing. Then I ran down the hall and out the back door, and I hid behind the trash can next to the steps. But Mother found me speedy fast, and then told me and her had a little tussle. And what do you know? Now I am sitting in my chair at school, and I am wearing a stupid, dumb pilgrim dress. This is the worstest day of my entire school career. Your friend, Junie B. I do not want to be a pilgrim, and I mean it. I slumped back in my seat real glum. Then, bam! The morning got even worse. On account of May came running into the room, and she was dressed like a little Native American Indian girl. And that is what I wanted to be. I slumped even lower in my chair. May hurried down our row, and she poked me in the arm. Hello, Junie Jones. Hello, she said. Look at the Thanksgiving costume my mother made for me. I am a Native American Indian girl. She poked me again. Look how great this costume is, Junie B. Look at the fringe on the bottom of my dress. Look at the beads around my collar. And look at my cute moccasins. Look at the long braid in my hair. I turned my face right away from her. Look at the back of my head, I said. May ran around in front of me. Guess what my name is, Junie Jones? My name is Chief May, chief of everybody. And I will be bossing around the Native American at the feast today. Plus, I will be bossing around the Pilgrims too. After that, she looked me over. Let's see. It looks like you are a little Pilgrim girl, she said. A little Pilgrim girl is not the chief of anyone, is she? A little Pilgrim girl is just a girl. She did a smirk. What is your name, little Pilgrim girl, she asked. Do you even have a name? I made squinty eyes at her. My name is Get Out of My Face, Chief Nutball, I said at her. I do not know where I come up with that great name. These things just come up to me. May frowned her eyebrows. I think your name is Pilgrim Grouchy, she said. After that, she swung her long braid in my face, and she sat down in her seat. Just then, Mr. Scary came hurrying into room 1. He had been talking to someone in the hall. His face beamed at our costumes. Boys and girls, you look so great in your costume outfits, he said. We are going to have the best time with our families today. He held up one finger. And don't forget, today the office is going to announce who won the Thanksgiving contest. I did a loud groan. Ugh. Great, I grouched. I'm already hottish and sweatyish. Now all I need to do is win a pie and then vomit. Suddenly, a loud noise interrupted my grouching. Tap, 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 tap. It was coming from the hall outside room 1. All the children ran to see. And whoa! It was Principal, and he was hammering a nail in our door with his shoe. All of our mouths came open at that sight. I cannot believe my eyeballs, I said, real shocked. If I nailed a hole in our door, I would get sent to Principal's office. I looked right at Mr. Scary. You know, that's true, by the way, I said. I have been sent for way less than that. Sheldon raised his hand. How come you're doing that, Principal? He asked. How come you're nailing a hole in our door with your shoe? Just then, his eyes glanced down at Principal's socked foot. Whoa! What kind of socks do you have on there? He asked, real curious. Sheldon quick got on his hands and knees and looked closer. He raised his eyebrows. Are those knee socks? He asked. My grandpa Ned Potts wears knee socks too. I got on my hands and knees too. My grandpa Frank Miller wears those kinds of socks too, I said. We call them old man socks. Principal's face looked really embarrassed at us. He said to please get away from his sock foot. Then he quick put his shoe back on. After that, he did a deep breath to settle down. Then, surprise, surprise! He reached into his pocket and he pulled out a giant blue ribbon and he hung it right on the doornail. And here's the class. And the principal is showing the class the blue ribbon they have won. Okay, so we're going to stop there because I'm running out of time again. Like I said, these chapters are kind of long. So we're going to drop off there on the second half of chapter 9. And we're going to finish the rest of that in a few minutes along with chapter 10, maybe 11. Bye. Yes.